YouTubers, welcome back. My name's Dave. You found do it yourself, do it right. Today's video, it's gonna be maybe a little bit of a history lesson. I'm gonna take you back. With this bike right here. And you're probably wondering, how are you gonna teach me some history with this bike right here? And it's all about the helmet. It's all about the headgear with me. Join or die. I'm from one of the original 13 colonies. So yeah, let's go. It's not the History Channel, but maybe someday. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in, give you a quick little overview of the bike. The bike is a 1974 Honda CB360. The blue bike, that one right there, is also a 1974 Honda CB360. And I got the blue bike out just so you can kind of get a comparison what it looked like original. I mean, that's not completely original, but it's pretty close to original. And then what I did to this one right here. If you guys didn't watch my other one, this bike actually started me into the whole vintage bike restoring, fixing, selling. It got me addicted, really. So I wanted to build a cafe racer, and this is my rendition. It's actually more of a brat style bike now. I made it a little bit comfortable for myself, but yeah, so I'm gonna jump right in real quick. As you can see, new pipes, new shocks, new chain, new tires. I put knobby tires on there because I like the look. So since we're in the back here, obviously new blinkers, new tail light. This right here, the sticker on the fender, is the original dealer sticker that was put on the fender from New York. So this bike, the history behind this bike was it was sold in 1976 as a dealer leftover to a man in New York City. He bought it. He did not ride the bike very much. As you can see, it only has 78 or 6,800 miles on it, which is part of the reason why I kind of wish I didn't cut it up and do what I did to it, but I did, and I can't take it back. So I know people out there are gonna be like, you ruined a nice bike, but whatever. I didn't know any better at that point. So as you can see, I wrapped the exhaust. Everything in the motor is stock except for the pod filters, and with the pod filters you gotta rejet the carburetor. That was a fun ordeal. Learning everything on this bike was a learning experience. As you can see up underneath here, new regulator rectifier, and I built this this little box here. Inside the box is the battery and all the wiring, the wiring mess that I have. I still got to go back and clean it up. This bike is really like in progress. It'll never really ever be finished, I don't think. There's always something I can do on this bike. So yeah, I added the stickers. I don't, just because. Coffee Fox, why not? The tank is original paint. This is all original. You can see the blemishes in the paint, but for an original paint tank, it's it's in really nice shape. The guy before me that had it, I am technically the second owner, but really the third owner. So the guy that bought it from the old guy from New York, I'll go back and tell you that whole story. He went and painted the motor with a silver. So the history on the bike, which I think I like more than the bike itself, like I started to say, the bike was sold in New York City to a man. He didn't ride the bike very much. He then retired, came down to Savannah in 1984. He had the bike. He titled the bike, put the bike on the road. Shortly after, so the story goes, shortly after he laid the bike down, and you can see that. There's evidence of it. You can see the scuffs on the cover here. You can see the scuff marks, and the old blinkers that were up here, they were all scuffed up and bent. So the story is, he laid it down. His old lady said no more riding a bike, so they lived downtown Savannah, put it in one of the carriage houses, or where the carriage would go. Now it would be a garage, and then it sat there. And unfortunately the man, and I'm assuming the lady, passed away. There was an estate auction. The man that I bought it from that estate auction. He got the story from the old people's the kids. So you know, secondhand. Hopefully that's right. I like to believe that that's, you know, that's really what happened, and you know, there's evidence to show that. So I really like the history behind the bike. So moving on, I've you know, put a new wiring harness on it because the wiring harness was pretty chewed up, and as you can see, I got the gaiters, and here's some more evidence of, you know, road rash right here. I went and painted the forks. So hopefully the rain has passed. You know, it started raining while I was shooting. You know, the weather around here, it just keeps changing. So I'll get back to the bike. So like I was saying, the work that I did, painted the forks. I used some you know, high temp black enamel paint. I also you know, took the drum brake all apart, put new brakes, new bearings, and I also painted the outside cover part. Also cleaned up the rims. You know, I sandblasted them, kind of gave them like this little matte, shiny kind of finish. You know, I wasn't you know, trying to go for anything super flashy. Just a, you know, just a cool little cafe racer type bike. You know, like I said before, looks more like a brat bike now. So I had to replace the headlight because the original headlight was a sealed bulb, sealed beam, and you know, you can't find those. So I just went ahead and bought a new headlight. You're probably wondering why I have the tape over it. That's just what they did back in the day. They put tape over the headlights in case they caught a rock and broke the glass. The glass wouldn't fall all over the place. So here's a nice look at the other side of the wheel. A lot of guys, they'll take and they'll drill holes in this. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to leave it stock. So I'm leaving it stock. This is a, like I said, a 74. This is actually an early 1974, and the way you know it's an early 1974 is because it does have the drum brake in the front. So that's the drum brake. It's you know, it's cool, it's mechanical. I like it. I actually like it a whole lot better than the disc brake that's on this other one over here. So this one has the disc brake. This one was built later in 74, and they did go to disc brakes. I know a lot of guys took the drum brakes off and put the disc brakes on, you know, for safety, but I actually like the drum brake. It is pretty, it's pretty touchy. I have it set so it's pretty touchy. So moving on. Blinkers, I got those from I do believe oh boy, I don't remember where I got those from. I think these are actually 4-into-1. 4-into-1 is a, you know, they sell bike parts. They're out of California. So looking up here, this is the original speedometer. Those are the original miles. The handlebars obviously have been changed. I took this the whole neck, and all this has been taken apart. New bearings, they've all been cleaned and repacked. New grips, new electrical, new controls, I should say, not electrical. The old ones, you know, the start button didn't work, and it was just old. It just needed to be replaced so it would be more reliable. And I replaced the left-hand one too. The high, low beams, a horn. I don't have a horn on this, so I don't have that hooked up. And then your blinkers, obviously. And I keep an American flag handkerchief tied up on there. And that's gonna get to the whole history lesson here in a little bit. So like I said, original paint tank does have some blemishes here and there. but it is, you know, it's beautiful. These are original. I haven't done anything to the badging and done any of that. So another indication that this bike was laid down was this peg was bent forward. I don't know how you lay the bike down on your left hand and then bend the right peg. I'm not exactly sure, but this peg was bent, and I got one off eBay. Now eBay's got a lot of parts, so if you're looking for parts like that, you know, go on eBay. They have parts. You know, guys take these bikes all apart and, you know, sell the parts. So that's what I did. And then, you know, some more stickers, and this is actually a little toolbox. And for the longest time, I would keep tools. Well, there's still tools in there, but I would keep tools for the clutch. I had a problem with the clutch for the longest time, and I'll get back to that in just here in a minute after I finish the little walk around. So then you got the pipes. Those pipes were from Common Motors. A lot of these parts, a lot of the carburetor rebuild stuff, that it all came from Common Motors. The shocks, I believe, came from Common Motors. And then work your way back. I know the chain did. This is just a little side mount license plate. You know, down here in Georgia, we don't have hardly any rules as to, you know, the way license plates and stuff are supposed to be mounted. So I just threw a small little side mount on there. And of course, you know, new chain, new bearings, new everything in there. So it's roadworthy. You know, I wanted to be able to ride it. So after finishing the bike, I only had it finished for maybe a week or so, and I took it up to the Tail of the Dragon. Yeah, you know, why not? You just finished a bike, why not take it to the Tail of the Dragon, you know? So I did that. I had a great time up there. I was up there all by myself. I had really no support, so, you know, an unproven bike up there in the mountains. You know, it's a small bike too, 356 cc's. You know, as you can imagine, there were some people going past me on the Dragon, but I didn't care. It was fun. While I was up there, I developed a problem with the clutch, and if anybody knows anything about these old CB360s, is this clutch that's in here with this adjustment, it's a pain in the behind. So there's like a little cam in there. It rolls, the cable pulls the cam up, it rolls. It has a ball bearing in there. It actually has 3, and if you don't have it adjusted just right, it does the dreaded clutch pop. So basically what that is when you pull the handle in, it'll go pop, and you won't have any clutch at all. The bike will stay in gear. You basically have to power shift it without using the clutch. So it happened to me while I was basically coming back to the cabin that I was staying in on the very last day. So I basically just loaded the bike up and came back. I didn't even try to fix it up there. So after basically years of trying to figure out, and I just said years, trying to figure out what the problem was. You have to remember, this was my first go around into vintage bikes, so I was learning the whole time. It literally took me a couple of years to figure out how to fix the problem. I was convinced that it was in the mechanism. I was convinced that it was in the clutch and the clutch plates and all that stuff, and really what it turned out to be was the clutch cable. The clutch cable, I had one that was actually too long. It went down in here and it came around, and there was you know, just too much cable, and it was grinding right up in here. And I was convinced that it was something else. That was a brand new cable that I bought from Motion Pro. I believe it was a Motion Pro cable. So yep, Motion Pro. So there you go, see it right there, Motion Pro. I was convinced that it wasn't the cable. I took the cable off, I moved the cable up and down, everything in the cable. I lubricated the cable, everything. And I was just 100%, I would have bet my paycheck that it was not the cable. So what I did was I said the heck with it. I bought everything in the clutch system basically brand new that I could buy. I bought cable, I bought a new clutch plates, new push rod that goes through the engine. I bought all that stuff brand new, and I changed it one piece at a time to figure out what the problem was. And lo and behold, the problem didn't go away until I changed the very last thing, and that was the doggone cable. So yep, it was the cable. So I figured it out. Clutch works perfectly now. I haven't had any issues with it, knock on wood. I've been riding it. I will say that I did put an electronic ignition in this bike. The electronic ignition was from Common Motors. It was their Shockwave electronic ignition, and I was not happy with it. I would get it adjusted. I would ride the bike, would have no problems. I'd come home, put the bike up, for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, because I do have a few motorcycles, and then I'd get the bike out to run it again, and it would run like crap. And then I'd realize that, oh man, it's out of timing again. And I Loctited everything. I did everything that I could possibly do for that electronic ignition, and it was just, it just would not stay in time. So what I do, I did the same thing I did with the blue bike. I put it back to points. Since I put it back to points, I've had 0 issues with timing. So there's something to be said for those old points. Yes, when you get an old bike, change out the points, but don't change it to electronic ignition. I have not had any luck with any electronic ignitions. One was a Pamco. This one was the Shockwave from Common Motors. I just was not happy, and it was quite expensive. I actually sold it on eBay, got rid of it. Everybody wanted to know why I was selling it, and I told them, I was like, hey, listen, I put the bike back to points and it ran better on points. So you take your chances with this ignition. It's brand new, but so I put it back to points. I have cleaned the carburetors a couple times now. Like I said, I've had this bike for a while, so it is, you got to clean the carburetors. Other than that, I'll tell you the seat. Kind of a sad story with the seat. The guy that made the seat for me, he did all the stitching and the foam. His name is Tom Albrush, and he worked for Gulfstream. He was in the upholstery department, and unfortunately just recently he passed away. That's one of his creations, and I'm kind of glad that I have one, because he did great work. I know he worked on a lot of people's cars, did the upholstery in their cars, and of course the jets that just flew over the head. He worked on that too. So rest in peace, Tom. All right, so like I've said in previous videos, I am definitely very patriotic. That's why I'm wearing my join or die hat. And it's time for that said history lesson. And the history lesson is based around this helmet. Now, I don't know if you guys know where this, this shark tooth design came from, but I know where it came from. So back in World War II, there was an aviation group, I guess you'd call them. They're actually volunteers, and they were called the Flying Tigers, and they put this on all of their P-40 Warhawks. And what they did was they were over fighting the Japanese from China, and I believe they were in Laos, and they were over there in the Pacific, and they were basically volunteers funded by the United States. The U.S. Army actually was for the Air Corps, U.S. Army Air Corps. So I thought that was kind of ironic and fitting. I am a big aviation buff. I'm a lover of everything United States, and you know, the bike is a Japanese bike, and oh, by the way, the bike is orange, and the Flying Tiger colors, they did have orange in the Flying Tiger colors. If you look them up, you know, definitely look them up. I'll try to post at the end of this video. I'll put a Flying Tigers emblem and some pictures. So you know, I went with the American flag and then the little Japanese flag up above. So you know, I thought it was kind of fitting. You know, aviation, I'm into aviation. I love airplanes, love helicopters, I love World War II. So just kind of, you know, throw it, kind of just, you know, it's like a little throwback kind of thing. You know, this is why my bandana's up here. Also, I keep a bandana on this bike, and I also keep one on Charlene. And the reason why I do that is because down here in the South, there is what they call the love bug season. And basically what that is there are two bugs stuck together fucking while they're flying. It's yeah, it's crazy. Two bugs stuck together, they're doing their thing. And you know, when you're on a bike, you don't want to be caught on a bike getting smacked in the face with bugs that are doing, you know, doing the do. So, and you know, you never know when that season is gonna come around. So I keep a bandana on this bike and Charlene. I need to probably keep one on all the bikes, because I don't want that all up in my face. So there you have it. If anybody is interested in the parts that I used from Common Motors and 4-into-1, definitely, you know, hit me up in the comment block. I am not going to try and go find all the links and all the part numbers and all that kind of stuff and put it in the description. If you are interested, you know, definitely hit me up, send me an email, you know, get on Facebook, I'm on there. All that stuff will be in the description. If you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is diydaveb. You can just type that in there, search it up. I do post preview videos on my Instagram page. So, and I post preview videos of the big videos that I have coming out. You know, stuff on the old car under the cover, stuff on the Road Glide. You know, the bigger videos, the longer videos, the more in-depth videos. So follow me on Instagram. And I also have a Facebook page. It's actually a group. If you want to find it, it's do it yourself, do it right. Pretty simple. And on there, I'm just looking for any DIY projects you have going on. It doesn't have to be motorcycle or car related. It could be anything. You know, if you cut up wine bottles and give them to your friends, you know, go on there, drop some pictures. You know, it's you know, put whatever, any kind of DIY projects you do, welcome on that page. And yeah, so I think after all of that, I think it's gonna do it for this video. Like I always say, if you like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free, why not? You know, it doesn't cost you anything. You know, a little bit of time, hit the button, you're done. Go ahead and if you hit the bell, it'll tell you when I load new videos, so that's helpful. And like I said in previous videos, I will never ever ask you for donations, or I'll never ask you to you know, do like a membership, you know, the little join button. You know, I'm not into that. I'm just out here making videos for you to help people out. That's what I'm here for. That's my thing. So there will be further videos coming on these two CB360s. This one is going to need some regular routine maintenance. I'm going to go through the timing, and the carburetors are going to need to be cleaned. So I'll set you guys up. I'll walk you through that. That's not going to be, you know, maybe, you know, a couple weeks, a month, I don't know, but that regular maintenance is going to definitely need to be done. You know, Mary Beth does ride the blue bike, oh, you know, quite a bit, so that's going to need to be done. And other than that, I'm going to leave you with a nice view of what I call the racer, even though it's more of a brat style bike. Like always, thanks a lot. Till next time.